I feel like we really just watched this year's finals preview last night between the OKC Thunder and the Cleveland Cavaliers. This game was hyped up pretty much the entire season after both teams got off to a hot start. The Cavs 15-0 and the Thunder have been on a 15-game winning streak, and these seriously do look like the two best teams in the NBA as of right now, the Thunder in the West and the Cleveland Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference. And this game was so exciting to watch, and I think was probably the best game of the year if we're just strictly talking about the level of basketball. But it also had those exciting factor moments, and it was super fun to watch, but also was the highest level of basketball I think I've probably watched this entire season. I watched a majority of this game, and I am so glad I did so, because if you guys missed it, you probably missed one of the best regular season games of this year and a potential probable finals matchup. Like, this would be such a good finals if it were to happen. But the Cavs did get the better of the Thunder, snapping their 15-game winning streak by 7 points. I mean, it was a very close game. I believe at halftime there was already like 17 lead changes. Both these teams scored over 100 points after 3 quarters. It was high level scoring, high level action. It was just such an entertaining game. We'll start with the box score for the OKC Thunder and see who played well, who didn't play well, and just some narratives about the Thunder team. But Shea didn't really have a great game, but then you look at the numbers and he scored 31 points. But if you watch the game, you would probably sit there and say, Shea's not having a great performance. I think he was like 1 of 11, or he was like 3 of 11 in the first half from field goal, which was obviously really bad for Shea. But he picked it up in the second half. He did finish almost 50% from the field. His three-point shot wasn't there at only 1 of 6 from 3, but he still managed to score 31 points, get you 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, and we know the impact that Shea can have on the defensive side of the floor. And I'm really starting to believe Shea could be in MVP conversations. Now, I know what Jokic is doing. The numbers he's putting up are ridiculous, stuff we've never seen before from Nikola Jokic. But the thing about Jokic and Shea's a much, much, much better defender. He's on the best team in basketball in the Western Conference and maybe even in the entire NBA. I know the Cavs just beat them, but you could argue the Thunder are still the best team fully healthy, because you got to remember this is also without Chet Holmgren for the OKC Thunder. So kind of talking about their side and defending them a little bit. For losing this game, they didn't have Chet, and the Cavs have Mobley and Allen, who are two of the best centers and bigs pretty much in the entire NBA this season. They've been amazing in that front court together, so it really hurts not having Chet for this Thunder team. And Shea has been able to will them, not single-handedly. There's been amazing players for this Thunder squad, but to a record of 30-6, and did just go on a 15-game winning streak, and is a much better defender than Jokic. Is still scoring 30 points per night on really good efficiency. I think Shea has an argument for MVP. This isn't an MVP conversation video, but I just want to say I think Shea's playing at that MVP level alongside guys like Jokic and Giannis. Other than that, I mean, J-Dub played really good. I would say, again, not a great efficiency-wise, but 25 points, 9 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. I mean, just look at the steal count for guys like Shea and J-Dub. I mean, even guys like Isaiah Joe had 2 steals off the bench. Cason Wallace didn't have a steal, but he normally gets like, I think he's averaging 1.5 or 1.8 steals per game. So, like, the Thunder have so many good perimeter defenders. I thought Cason Wallace was really good for this Thunder team in this game. He did have 15 points on amazing efficiency. He knocked down 3 threes out of 3 attempts, and then also was 6 of 8 from the field. He's able to get you 3 assists and 2 boards as well. Other than that, there wasn't too many amazing players for this Thunder team. I mean, Hartenstein was good. He had a lot of those floaters, 18 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. So Hartenstein did have a really well-balanced game. And he did his best, right? Guarding Jared Allen, having to guard Evan Mobley for a long period in that game. And that's really hard to do with not having much height and much size around you. Overall, though, even though this Thunder team did lose the game, they are still 30-6. They still look like the best team in the Western Conference. And I'm very confident with Chet Holmgren fully healthy, they can be the best team in the league. But to talk about who I think can now be considered, no doubt about it, the best team in the NBA. I think they're better than the Thunder. I think they're better than the Boston Celtics and any other team you could possibly think of. I think right now, if the season were to end today, who would I say is the best team in the league? Not record-wise, even though, yes, they have the best record. But I think the Cleveland Cavaliers are the best team in the league right now, fully healthy, at least from what we've seen. They are 30 2-4. They had 2 losses back-to-back earlier in the season against the Atlanta Hawks in back-to-back games, which were kind of outlier losses. I believe they lost to the Celtics. I know that for sure. On the road by 3 points without any of their small forwards or wings. They were missing guys like Max Strus, Caris LeVert. I don't even know if they had Dean Wade in that game. I think they were missing Isaiah Okoro. And on the road against the Boston Celtics, they only lost by 3 points. They lost 2 outlier games to the Atlanta Hawks, and then I believe they lost a game to the Miami Heat. I don't know if that one's true, but those are their 4 losses this season. 3 of them for sure I know 100%. It was 1 against the Celtics, 2 against the Hawks. So they had, like, legitimately, if they didn't lose those 2 games to the Hawks, could be like 34-2 right now, and I think that's very realistic, and they barely lost to the Boston Celtics. They are on absolute fire, and I think are the best team in the world right now. To talk about this game specifically, really well-balanced game for this Cavs team. I mean, if you look at the scoring, just in general, every single starter was above double figures, double digits scoring. You had obviously Jared Allen, Donovan Mitchell, Garland, all playing amazing, right? Evan Mobley, Jared, like all these guys in the starting lineup played amazing. Donovan Mitchell didn't have a great shooting the ball wise, but it's still Donovan Mitchell. Yes, he only scored 11 points, and that's what makes this team so deadly. That D-Mitch can only score 11, shoot really bad, 3 of 16. He shot March 16th from the field, 2 of 7 from 3. Really bad efficiency night for Donovan Mitchell. But then you got Jared Allen and Evan Mobley looking like the best front court duo in the entire league. Evan Mobley having 21 points, Jared Allen having 25 of his own. I think he was their best player this game, at least just all around, because he also had 11 rebounds. He had 6 assists, which is amazing. Like, look at the front court duo playmaking wise. Mobley was 7 assists, Jared Allen was 6 assists. That is really good for your front court, and I think Evan Mobley, that's something that he's really improved on this season, is his playmaking and his vision. Jared Allen had a really good playmaking game. Jared Allen also had 3 steals, 1 block. And I think to me, that was the most impressive thing about this Cavs team in this game against the Thunder and in this impressive win was the front court play between Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. Their stat lines were amazing. Maybe Evan Mobley didn't shoot the best from 3, 0 of 3 from the 3-point line, but he did have 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and was a +8 ±. Overall, amazing game for Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. Darius Garland had a really good night as well. 18 points, I should say, 7 of 15 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3. Maybe once again, just like Donovan Mitchell, maybe not the greatest efficiency night for a guy like Garland, but he did also chip in with 7 assists as well, which is great to see. I mean, Garland has been looking like an all-star this year. I'm not sure if he's going to make the all-star team because there is a lot of really good guards in the Eastern Conference. Guys around his caliber like Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, LaMelo Ball. You have Donovan Mitchell on the same team as him. I think Garland has a chance to potentially be an all-star, and I'm sure there's people I'm missing guard-wise in the East, but those are just the first names that come to mind. So it's going to be hard for, I think, Darius Garland to make an all-star team, but I think there's a chance he could because he has been lights out this entire year and definitely the best season of Garland's entire career. Off the bench, though, I mean, Max Strus hit 5 threes. Ty Jerome has just been super consistent this entire season for the Cavs. Their bench, I think, is one of the best benches in the entire league. They get great contribution from a lot of guys. Even Georges Niang, he can go off for 4 or 5 threes a game, on any given night. Isaac Okoro didn't even score the basketball, and we know he can be a really good scorer. Caris LeVert had 8 points. I think he's a really good small forward for them. I should have talked about Dean Wade in the starting lineup because he was just super efficient from 3. They have a lot of guys that can shoot the 3 ball the best. They have the best 3-point percentage in the league right now. This team shoots over 40% from 3, and I think the Cleveland Cavaliers are seriously one of the best, if not the best, offensive teams right now in the league, and one of the best offenses I think we've seen in the past while. And just this game alone, guys, was so amazing and so fun to watch. Was probably the most fun I've had watching a basketball game this year, besides maybe some of those Christmas games that were amazing. But overall, what a game between the Thunder and the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think this game really lived up to the hype. I think this could be a potential amazing finals matchup and something I'd really want to see in the playoffs. Like full 7-game series of these teams going at it, I think would be really exciting to watch. But let me know in the comment section down below if you guys watched this game. What did you guys think about it? Did it live up to the hype? What do you guys think about the Cavs? What do you guys think about the Thunder? Let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.